a businessman who was given a team of 75 people to look over everything that happens on the Irish people's social media. Full censorship. And if you say something against the government, if you say something against the open borders, if you say something against climate change and killing the Irish cows, well, guess what? Hate speech. You're no longer allowed to speak against the government in Ireland. And guess what? The same thing's happening in Canada. I know we have Canadians on here. I believe we do. Do we have any Canadians on here? Let me know if you're from Canada. I did last week. I hope they're still on here. Woo! Canada in the house. I think I might have X'd this out. I'm almost positive that I did, but let me see if I can find it. I don't know if you guys are going to like this or not. But there was actually, speaking of Conor McGregor and UFC, there was actually a UFC fight this Saturday in Canada. Did you guys hear about this? And at this UFC fight in Canada, it's very, very clear that the Canadians are not a fan of Justin Trudeau, letting the world know that they are not fans of Justin Trudeau. In unison, the whole entire arena at the stadium where the UFC fight was chanting this. Listen to this. So there might be a lot of things that we're not seeing. There might be a lot of things that we aren't hearing. They're saying, let's go Brandon, but about Justin Trudeau, if you know what I mean. You may not be seeing that the German farmers are protesting. You may not see that the Polish people are protesting. You may not see that the Canadians are very unhappy with Justin Trudeau. But this is what's happening around the world. And it's now or never. It's time to call your governments. It's time to call your members of European Parliament. It's time to call your congressmen. It's time to call your senators and let them know that you do not want the governments that you do not want Canada, or you do not want the United States or any of your countries in Europe or in South America or wherever you are to sign the World Health Organization, the treaty that's going to give power to the globalists in the event of a pandemic. Because, as soon as that's signed, boom. Whether it's a virus, whether it's disease X that they've been talking about, or a pandemic, guess what? There will be one, and they will take control. And then slowly it will be digital currencies. It will be central bank digital currencies. It will be control. We cannot allow it. And they know that they're in this fight, and they know for whatever reason things that we don't know. And what they know that we don't know is that Donald Trump is a threat, because they're talking about him nonstop at the World Economic Forum. They're talking about Donald Trump as much as they're talking about climate change this year. He's a threat to democracy. The only way he will disappear is if he goes to jail. And we know that that's kind of falling apart. They had they had the Georgia case ready to go, perfect timing, right before they pushed it so it would interfere with his campaigning. They pushed it, they got it ready, and then Fani Willis, the district attorney, allegedly had an affair with the #1 prosecutor, Wade. And there's nothing more powerful than a scorned woman. And his ex-wife said that the day that he was appointed to the Trump case, and made the lead, by the way, even though he has less experience than the other 2 prosecutors, he came home and said, I want a divorce. By the way, Fani Willis decided to pay this guy $600,000 of taxpayer money a year. And now that the wife is putting all of these documents, all of the banking documents of her ex-husband Wade into the courts, now it's looking like they had an affair. And if there's anything unethical going on, between Fani and Wade, the lead prosecutor that she put in charge, who, by the way, has no experience in any trials or no experience with anything under corruption. He's a personal injury lawyer. If it turns out that there was misconduct in any way, all the Donald Trump case has